Hi guys, I'm back with another video. This is more organizational stuff. I was talking, but my card got full and I didn't realize where it stopped. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going to take all of these containers. They all have specific lines. So I might have ephemera and I might have die cuts from them. If I have ephemera and die cuts, it's because I bought them on like Peachy Cheap or something, or I happened to find a paper pack or not a paper pack, the whole thing. What's it called? Oh man, the paper pack? Paper pad. And then I found ephemera or die cuts later on, like in Tuesday morning or something. So, I think that's what happened with this one, or I think I might have bought it, but I don't even remember. This is Simple Stories Life in Color. I have Heidi Swap ephemera and die cuts, chipboard as well. I have a Dear Lizzie Saturday collection, the Chamel Little by Little, and I also have Maggie Holmes open book. So what I did was, what I had started saying is that I'm never going to use these clips because I don't use them in my scrapbooking, and I hardly ever send anything to anyone because of because I had financial struggle, so it wasn't ever a thing that I'm used to. So what I did is, instead, I know that I'm not going to use these paper clips like that, so I took off the chipboard embellishment that they had, and I took them off of all 8 clips. Of course, now I'm missing one chipboard, so I don't know if I had done that previously and already used it, or I don't know, it just escaped my mind. So I'm planning, what I'm trying to do today, my objective is I'm going to put all of these die cuts and chipboard stuff in the notebook process that I'm trying to do. If you hear too much noise, I apologize. I'm gonna see how this sounds in the video, but I do have a what do you call it? Those wind chimes. I think I'm gonna take it down just because I can hear it. Anyway, I'll be back. I'm gonna set up the notebook and then we'll get started. Okay, so I wanted to start off by talking real quick about this notebook. What I had envisioned is to put it in rainbow order for straggler stickers, or stickers that are not made by a manufacturer. For example, these are from Target, and so are those. So I was thinking of putting those in by color order. And then I have a few of these also. These are from, I bought these in a store in Korea way long time ago, but they're more vintage, and I've already started putting them in my binder, and I figured I could put some in my notebook as well, just depending on what I have. I can see both of them. There are other things, but then I started working on the back of the book, because my intention for this part of the book was to glue the die cuts with sticky dots, or those, what are they called, mounting squares. So I ran out of mounting squares pretty quick, and I found this at Walmart. It says it has 850 squares, but the bottom was open, so it might have been missing a few. I got it for $3, so it was on clearance for $3. And I'm gonna try and use this and finish up. I have wax paper on the inside of it. I did do the mounting squares on the straight paper, and that's working out fine. Although I did also use some of that mono multi glue, the one that turns sticky afterwards. I did use some of that glue for the ones with the wax paper, and then the other ones were mounting squares, and I just let it dry a little bit. The ones without wax, I also tried to use that mono multi glue. And so what I have left to do here is I'm going to try and work backwards. I'm going to, these have the mono multi glue on the wax, and they stick all right. I didn't do a stellar job. I wanted to do a quick job. And so I might have to go back and stick some of these over, but for the most part, they don't fall out unless I knock it over or something. And some of them are mounting squares, so there's a mix of glues. Like here I have half a page left over. I might put some in here and then work my way inside with the mounting squares to get the rest of these. I have 2 of these, and these come in doubles. So the paper pad had 2 sheets of the exact same die cuts, and these are double-sided, so they're really pretty. So I kind of hesitate using these, but because of the versatility of having a double-sided something. But I said, you know, I have way too much paper. If I need another side or whatever, I can always back it, whatever. Like, I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm going to finish putting these in this notebook. And then I've been trying to think about whether or not I'm going to keep with the color. I don't scrapbook mainly by color, or I don't think I've ever taken that route. Honestly, I scrapbook more by like the actual collection, even though sometimes I don't have the whole collection, and I don't buy whole collections either. Sometimes I find ephemera after I buy the paper pad, and I also don't buy scrapbook paper individually by sheet, because for me it's more economical to just buy the paper pad. With that being said, I do have ephemera, and because I bought some collections with a paper pad, and like at Scrapbook Steals or something like that, and so they came with ephemera, they came with chipboard, they came with other three-dimensional objects. So I'm going to put these in an actual notebook itself by collection, and then I'm hoping to split them up by manufacturer, like American Crafts. So Dear Lizzie, Chamel, and I was thinking also Simple Stories would be something different, and then Heidi Swap would also be something different because I have a lot of her stuff, and so I'm gonna separate those by notebook. I went through all my ephemera in these boxes that I have, these acrylic boxes, and I pulled out some of the stuff that I do want to put in these notebooks or in my binder, but I already need to buy another binder because this one is the one that I have. This black one right here, it's already pretty full. I don't want to make it fuller than it is, although this is an old binder. It's already tearing there, and it's a 1-inch binder. So I'm on the hunt for 2-inch binders, and I'm thinking of looking for a color kind of like this, not exactly black, because I have a lot of black things in my room. I have a dark bookshelf, and I kind of want it more colorful. So I already have baskets in this like teal, mint, aqua color or whatever. I want to bring in some more of that color just to brighten it up in here, since it is a smaller room. But that's, I think I found the only, since what I'm trying to say is since I am looking for binders after the school season has already started, I cannot find, it's hard for me to find 2-inch binders in the color that I want. So I'm on the hunt for those. I know they have them at Walmart. And another Walmart purchase, you guys, they have these boxes called Super Stackers. These are like 80 something cents at Walmart. We were at Hobby Lobby, no, at Joann's. These boxes go for $3.99. That's insane right now, and they come in different colors too. See, I had already had one of these boxes I bought a long time ago, and they stack. They fit in each other, so they're not gonna slip off of each other, but they do not clip together. I thought they did for some reason, but they don't, but they stack nicely. So I only have 4 of these. This is an older one. It's dirty because I used water for my son in it on the top, and these are newer. I bought them for 89 cents. They are $3.99 each at Joann's. That's insane. And I don't know if it's the same brand, but they both said that they're for crayons. And I have glitter. I had this in a tube and I didn't want it in that because it wasn't helpful. And then I put all my acrylic pieces in here because that was in another roll. And so this is a lot better for me, and I have it already set somewhere. I don't think I'm gonna purchase anymore, but if any of you out there are looking for that type of, you know, to hold a certain set of something, those are pretty good, and they snap closed, and they're a lot cheaper at Walmart right now because they have them for the school supply stuff. So anyway, binders. I'm looking for another binder in a different color. I just had this one on hand, so I'm going to use what I have. But as far as the other embellishments go, excuse me, I have more composition notebooks. I had a few in my house, and then I bought some for like 50 cents. And when you go to Walmart, if you go to purchase them at Walmart, not that it's a big deal, but these only have, I counted this one, it doesn't even have 40 sheets, which would make it 100 total, right? I counted these, it wasn't even 40 sheets alone and then folded in half. So this doesn't make 80 sheets, and this I got at Walmart also, not this year, but maybe 2 years ago. I haven't ever used it, so I figured I'm gonna use it for my die cuts. But if you look, they sell them for the same price, but some are 100 sheets and some are only 80 sheets total. So just be on the lookout for that too, if you know, if you want to have more sheets or if you want to have less sheets, you know, that decision is up to you. But you know, if you pick one up, just realize that sometimes they have a different sheet count. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm gonna end up using these, and I'm gonna probably split them in half maybe, or if I split them in half like this, I might split them in 4, like by sheet count or whatever, and have different manufacturers. I still don't know. I'm not really sure, but I know that I am gonna separate them, like American Crafts, Simple Stories, whatever I have bulks of, and then Heidi Swap alone, because I do have a lot of her stuff. I also am going to do my chipboard sheets, like my friend Janet has them, and I bought a big stack of this just generic sheet protectors instead of the scrapbook ones. I think this ended up being like $6, but I didn't want to use my fancy 8.5 by 11 sheet protectors because I think those were more expensive, or in my head they feel like they're more expensive. And this is gonna be a total, is it called a utilitarian? Like, it's gonna have a utilitarian purpose. I'm going to be pulling out and in my sheets of cardstock with the chipboard. So I think I'm gonna have to cut this down a bit. I'm gonna have to rewatch Janet's chipboard one because I think I have to cut it down. But I'm gonna start these even though I don't have a binder for them, which isn't gonna be very many because I don't have a lot of chipboard, I don't think. But then that way I can get started on that as well, and I don't have to have the fact that my binder is missing, that I haven't purchased one yet, keep me from organizing the things that I want to organize. I did clean my room, so to speak. Let me move this. I did clean my room, and I still need to go through the desk drawers, like my sewing desk that's over here. I want to move a cubby over and switch them, and then I still have yet to clean out the closet. But for now, I'm taking a break on cleaning out this room. I think I organized it somewhat, and there's no longer stuff lying everywhere, and so that makes me a lot less anxious about being in my room. So for now, this is what I want to concentrate on. And you know, let's speak a little bit of truth. I'm really bummed out that I haven't been able to scrapbook as much as I want, and it's because I've been a little creatively blocked because of the status of my room. I did manage to have my desk clean, but it was just so cluttered with all the kits that I had out and the embellishments, and then trying to do this. So I put everything back, and I've been pulling out ephemera that needs to get put into binders or composition notebooks, and I'm really excited about that. And right now, since I'm excited about organizing, I'm going to stick with that. But I did end up at only 65 layouts. Hopefully, that was my speaker, sorry. Hopefully I'll be able to get some scrapbooking done, you know, in between these things that I'm doing from here to the end of the year, so I can get to my goal of 100 layouts. And that might not seem much to people, but I do tend to spend a lot of time on my pages, and so that's something that I'm trying to work at. And efficiency and trying to find finishing touches or things that I need to add to my page, I need to have those at my disposal in a better manner. And I'm realizing that as I've been doing this sticker sheet. I found some more. These are all multicolored, but they're what is that? Where they're outlined in purple. So I put them under the purple sheet sticker since I don't have many. And like I said, it's just been really helpful, and it's fun for me to just page through all this stuff and see that you have different things. And not only that, like these are all, they're all mixed up, and they're different manufacturers and different lines, and I like the fact that I can see two different lines put together. Even though they're a similar color, I know now my eye sees them and can say all this goes together, even though they were in 3, 4, 5 separate packages. So I find that very fascinating, really fun as a scrapbooker, because my mind is being not tricked, but my mind can see a lot easier what can go together or what will pass as going together, because they're all in one place, and I don't have the packaging dictating what I want to use, because I'm not worried about who manufactured it, what line it comes from. If I see that it can go together, my mind is telling me by color, by way of color, they all can go together, and I don't have to, you know, mentally separate all the lines, even though I know they come from different places. So I find that pretty cool, because now I don't limit myself with my things, with my stash, with my inventory, as Janet calls it. And that's no shade, Janet. But it's fascinating that just by putting all these things in one page and seeing that they can go together tells my mind, you're not mentally separating these things by package anymore, because you're seeing them by color, and you can see that you can mix it up. And to me, that was really interesting. So it's opened my creative horizon a lot more. I can see more of it. I can, flip through it more. I can flip through it instantly. I put these back here, even though this is a white page. 1, because they weren't going to fit in here, but 2, because they're also outlined in like a brown, which is what the ivory, that's what I would relate it to. Ivory color, brown color, or they're not completely white. So I put them in here. And then multicolor, I even took out those sheets and I put them in here, and these were washi strips. They're from this package. So like now this was hard for me to use, and now I find it a lot easier, because it's something that I can reduce down to and say, oh, well, these are strictly black and white stickers, or these are speech bubbles now to me. They're not this vintage package. Now I don't have the mentality of a vintage package, but a speech bubble, or it's a white element that I can tuck in somewhere, or I can use these as washi strips. Now it's not this whole big clunkin package. It was thick. It was about like that thick, like maybe a 3/4 inch thick of stickers. 12 sheets of stickers, okay? And So instead of being mentally blocked by the fact that this is vintage and it's vintage this and vintage that, now I separate it and I have speech bubbles, I have brown, I have multicolor washi strips. It's my mind is playing tricks on me. Here are all the black and white ones that I pulled out of there, and I know where they come from, but now my mind has separated it and can think of it like this and break it down into an easier format for me creatively. And so now it's not so overwhelming in that big package too, and I don't have to flip through 12 sheets of paper for one sticker, versus I know if I'm looking for a white, black and white sticker or a speech bubble or just stuff that I can tuck in, and it's magically easier is what I want to say. So yeah, so there's that. And my chipboard isn't going to fit in here, and if I start doing my chipboard sheets in here, it's going to fill up real quickly. So I'm just going to start off the sheets separate, and once I find a binder either here at my house or, you know, at the store, then I'll have my sheets ready, and they'll already be in the sheets, all my chipboard, and I'll just be ready to place them into the notebook. So there's that. So now I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish putting those 2 envelopes of die cuts with a view into my notebook, into my die cut notebook that I have. So I'm going to finish up this area right here. I'm going to put something on top. Is that okay? All right, and so I'm going to do one at a time. So what I know I'm going to do is I'm going to put one in the binder and one in my notebook. This I'll probably add to the binder, and it's just a little reference sheet of what the die cuts with a view sheet had itself, but it shows me a double-sided. I wish they would have done the corner a lot smaller so that I could see the rest of them, because I was trying to use it as a reference. And that's just still part of my mentality from my old way of classifying things. I have the die cut backing, the chipboard backing of the package, and so I want to cross out as I go. But I'm not going to need that anymore really here. This is just me trying to hold on to that mentality. Which is okay, but I don't feel like I'm going to need it as I go. You know, the more I do this, the more I will learn that I don't need to do that anymore. I'm going to keep them by page, the way the paper pack had them, but maybe as I transition, I might start separating everything by color. Who knows? But for me, this is what works right now. This is how my brain thinks, and even though I'm trying to try a different technique as far as efficiency and the way that I can see or look up or find my ephemera, my die cuts, this works for me right now. And whatever works for you is what you should try. If you can find a mashup of 2 ideas, be it your own and someone else's that you've been inspired by, like I've been inspired by Janet's and also Emberone, then you can take this however you want. You can make this your own, and why wouldn't you? Because you're the one scrapbooking, you're the one that knows how you think, and that's all that matters. So, and who knows, maybe the way you think might sound more approachable to somebody else that has seen Janet's video or Emberone's video or the number of other organizational videos that are out there. I don't think I want to separate these, so I'm just going to start on a whole different page. So that's that, see? And that was the simple decision. There was no hemming and hawing about it. I used glue for this one, but I was showing it to my husband and knocked it out, so I'm just gonna, these don't stick to the, oh, look at that. Okay, so that has a what do you call it? Oh my God, the mounting square on it now instead of just glue. So this is what I've been doing. I mean, if you have seen Janet's video, then you're familiar with this as well. And this has been really fun for me. I have I've really taken to it, and I know now that I can do as many of these as I want, or it has cleared up some space in my organizational stuff, and I have room for other things. I can also rearrange other things so that I know that what I'm seeing is that I can see what I want to see, and it doesn't feel so cluttered or unorganized for me. And that's an awesome thing when you can take something, or if you know you have a problem or a holdup and you find a process that works for you and you try to incorporate it, the worst thing that can happen is that it doesn't work for you, and you can just revert back and start from square one and try something else. And that's it. That's, you know, it's not all you can do, but some other idea might come along and that might be a better fit. And that's the beauty of sharing ideas online, and you know, having this community, is that all of a sudden now you're sharing what has worked for you. It might not work for everyone, but it'll work for you. They can take that idea and transform it into something else, and it'll work for them. So it's really fun. I've also taken to reading the comments on Janet's videos also, because they bring up ideas, or they have problems or conundrums with their organization, and you can always chime in and put your 2 cents in, and that's where community comes from. That's how that's how people make friends. You know, there's enough of this community, of this scrapbooking world to go around for everyone, and you want to spread that kind of kindness. You want to spread that kind of camaraderie, because there's enough competition and all that. I just get tired of hearing all that, you know. Like, I want to make friends in this community. I want to talk to like-minded people. And just, I learned that by reaching out. I learned that by commenting. I'm not a commenter by far. Like, I wouldn't think of myself as that. I'm not a very interactive person, but I learned that if I want to have friends in this community, I'm going to have to talk to people. And sometimes that can be daunting, because who wants to be rejected? Nobody. Nobody wants to be rejected or talked about behind their back or whatever. But the only way you're going to make friends is if you put yourself out there. So this is the process that I'm going through as far as that's stuck. These are working pretty well. These were from I like the stickiness on these. I tried another box. I wish I would have kept it to, this is from Scotch. I like them. Initially repositionable, so they can be repositionable at first, but then they'll be permanent. So I don't know if these will tear up my wax paper. It really doesn't matter. Whoops, there goes. But it's a good kind of sticky, and they're not falling off. They don't seem like they're falling off. I'm putting it lower than these are tags, so I'm putting it below the hole, because I know that when I'm scrapbooking, I like to put twine between these, and so that's why I'm leaving a hole in them, or that's why I'm leaving them. I'm putting the sticky part, the mounting square, low in a lower area, so when I use the mounting square to hold it down on my layout, I can still have access to that hole. So I'm not covering that hole. And let's see here. We'll try and put these in there. I should have done it this way. See, I'm gonna do this and then do that, since this one has a, you can see the sentiment on this one, and you know that this one is blank, so this one can go underneath even though it's the same type of style. Come on, I didn't press on it or something. Okay, so then it leaves these two, and I can put these on sideways like this. So they're gonna spill onto this other sheet, and that's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that. There's more than enough notebook to go around. And hopefully, you know, Miss Janet will probably see this video. Hi, Miss Janet. If you guys have any suggestions, or if you don't think I'm putting enough sticker in it, if you've had experience in that, share. You need more mounting squares, etc., then I can do that. But so far this is working. I think I only used like 1 or 2 in other die cuts, and that was a lot easier also. I'll put this one this way. This is so pretty with the gold and the navy blue. That one's so pretty too with the handwriting. Oops. That went awry. Ooh, I almost put it on the side that is the embellishment part. So those will go there. Alright, so I'm gonna do the other sheet, and then I'll show you the end product after I'm done with these guys. Be right back.